And hello, and welcome back to the channel. I am Bragi, and yes, as you know, if you're familiar to the channel, I am a Viking, and I'm here with my very good Viking friend.
That's me, Egil Thorsson. Again, Viking warrior, trader, runecaster, and of course storyteller and history buff.
Indeed. Now, today we are back for another vlog episode.
Wow, who'd have thought
Oh
it?
yes, who'd have thought we'd be episode 21
Yeah.
of a Viking vlog series. I never would have thought we would have got that far.
Yeah, and let's not forget, press the subscription bell. Have a good
Oh,
sneeze.
bless you.
Thank you.
Good health.
And leave us a comment. So, what's on the menu today then, Bragi?
Well, just whilst you've been sneezing, it makes you think, well, if you're a Viking, you must have had a bit of cloth in your pocket or you to blow your nose on. Or your sleeve.
Or?
Your hair. Well, I never would have thought about using your hair as a hanky.
Yeah.
You learnt something new there.
Well, I'm sure they found some ways we don't even want to know about.
Well, I'd imagine, me, I would have had a bit of cloth, a bit of wood in my pocket, blow my nose on. But would they have thought about that?
It may be different ideas then, you know, I mean, there's the traditional way of plugging one nostril and...
Is that when you used to wash in the bowl?
Yeah.
Like in the movie The 13th Warrior?
Yeah. We see it in Vikings on that TV series as well.
Yeah, no, I've not seen it on that. I started to watch the first season of that the other day.
Oh, it's getting tense.
Now, as you know, I'm Bragi, and let's do the host intros. What have you been up to over the last couple of weeks since we filmed the last vlog? Anything exciting, Egil?
Well, no, it's just the day-to-day things. I had a bit of toothache, that cleared up. Oh, I'll tell you now what I have got. Mouse infestation.
Oh, mouse infestation.
I've put traps down, I've killed one, but I can hear them squeaking, but they just avoid my traps. If anybody's got any ideas on how to get rid of mice, let me know.
Get a cat.
I'm not allowed cats, I'm afraid.
Right.
Or dogs, otherwise I don't...
Well, dogs are not very well known for mice, are they?
Well, my dog caught a mouse once. My cat,
Yeah.
the first time she ever caught a mouse, it bit her and she ran off.
Well, it makes you think again, how would have they dealt with mice back in the day?
Don't think they really bothered that much.
Probably not.
They had cats.
Yes.
I'd like a pussy cat, but I'm afraid under my tenancy agreement I can't have them.
And having a pet is very good for you.
Tell me about it.
It's
But,
a shame that.
I've heard peppermint oil mice don't like that. I've baited the trap with chocolate.
Yeah, peanut butter's the best. I'll give you some. I've got a whole jar.
You heard it here first, viewers.
And you can have that cheese as well, I don't want. Woof, woof.
Meow.
So, what else have you been up to? Have you been anywhere nice?
Well, I've been to the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham.
Oh yes, how did that go?
I'm still waiting the outcome. Between you and me and the gatepost, I haven't got it, but we'll see.
Was there a lot of people going in for that job?
Well, they wanted a lot of people. They wanted 30, 40 people, and there was that at the interview. We'll see. Maybe, it takes time.
If you don't know what we're on about, Egil went for an interview.
Yeah. As a warder.
I've never really had an interview in my life for a job.
They're not fun.
Anyway, so you may be asking, what have I been up to?
What have you been up to?
Well, I'm always busy. If I'm not looking after my dad, that's one of my main things in my life I do. As you know, I'm a full-time carer. I'm just working on the channel all the time. I've been working very hard recently researching keyword content. And you may not be familiar with what keyword phrases are.
You're quite right.
So a typical example of this is, let's say, the Viking bearded axe video. So when you type in Viking bearded axe in the tool in TubeBuddy, there's a little tool called a keyword explorer. It'll kind of tell you how many views you're going to get, how many people out there watching or looking for that content, and it helps you to choose content which is going to be sort of set on the channel. Because the problem with making content is often we make content what we think is going to be good, but that doesn't fundamentally mean it's going to be good for the viewer.
This is why we want your comments, so that we can adapt to what you actually want.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
we're doing this for the people out there.
Well, we're doing this to spread the knowledge about history, but as well as spreading knowledge about folk tales, because that's another major part of this channel. Because if you go out there, there's very few channels telling folk tales like we do. in person.
Say that again.
A lot of them, they'll choose to have an audio track and then you choose an animation. It's just all very good if you want to watch animation, if you're a kid or into that kind of thing. But to me, that's not how I want to watch a folk tale. I want to watch the individual tell the folk tale.
Well, also, you're in danger of copyrighting things.
No, well, you're only in danger of copyrighting if you infringe the 1923 rule of the copyright issue. So, for instance, if a book has been... So, let's say Hans Christian Andersen. So, you may think, well, a lot of that content's copyrighted, but it won't be, because it's published before 1923. So, before 1923, it's copyright free. And then you get your next dates between 1923 and I believe it's 1965, where if any of those copyrights have been re-registered, they're still copyrighted. But that's a bit of a grey area. So generally you try to stick to anything, and all of our folk tales have all been published before 1923, and so far we don't have one copyright issue at all. And that's good.
Oh well, there you go, you've heard it here first.
So I've been doing lots of sewing, I've been researching more content. I've updated the folk tale folder, so we've now got more folk tales we can look at. I've been looking and concentrating more on Nordic folk tales, because we've been asked 1 or 2 comments saying that we've been telling too many English folk tales, and I think that's probably true for a little bit. So we had a stint of English folk tales. We're now going to go into a stint of Nordic and other European folk tales, including French and Germanic.
Yeah, well, as I say, we cover the whole thing, but there's one thing I would like to do, and it's what a friend of mine, she's of the Norse persuasion, she's having a really bad time, and I wonder if all the other people who are connected with the Norse could have a word upstairs and make her life a little bit easier. She's asked me not to give her a name.
Do I think I know you're on about?
Liverpool.
You're right, yeah. Well, we'd just like to send a positive message out there, some good luck.
She has some terrible afflictions which no person should ever have, but she always keeps a stable mind, but she's having a bit of bad luck lately.
Yes, well, you get bad luck at times.
Yeah, so, 64 years of it.
Well, you've had lots of bad luck, but you're now on the channel, you've got good luck.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a balance.
Yeah, I mean, you could be sitting at home not doing this. So you're doing something exciting, you're going to leave a big legacy behind many, many years from now when you depart. Dead and buried. You know, that'll be a sad day.
I'll start paying as soon as I die.
I'll start making a tribute video.
Yeah, alright.
Now, let's talk about some recent achievements on the channel.
Go on then.
So recently, I think today or yesterday, we've now hit 540 subs.
Smashing.
In fact, we're on 543. So if you're new to the channel and you have recently subscribed, well, I just want to say thank you very much.
Thanks to all of you.
And welcome.
Yeah.
Please enjoy our content and please be part of the family of Northworthy.
And also, of course, I met up with an old pal of mine, Adi.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
we can talk about that. As let me just do these achievements. Another achievement we recently reached was having 5,000 comments on the channel.
Woof.
I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's most appreciated.
We've also today gone over 20,000 views.
Ooh.
We seem to be having some kind of something going on the channel. I noticed in the last 48 hours we've had 1,500 views on the Langsacks versus Scramsacks video. So something's going on there. So I don't know what's going on, but it's all positive.
Just keep doing it.
And another achievement we got recently, I saw the other day, was on the Northworthy Twitter blog, which Thomas runs for us. So hello Thomas, doing a great job. And we now got 200 people following us, including some very professional people from our area.
Ooh.
So yes, that's very good. So what we're going to talk about your meeting up?
As I say, I saw Adi Sanderson.
They may not know who he is.
Well, he was way back a shield buddy of mine with the excellent reenactment group, Regia and Gloria.
Oh yes.
And hopefully we could build a rapport with him and get him and some of the lads down to
yes, I think that would be great. I mean,
maybe even a storyteller.
Well, even a lady storyteller.
A lady teller, yeah.
Oh yes, we're still looking for one of them.
Yeah.
I put an advert out the other day. Now, so That'd be great. I think working with some kind of reenactment group, making combat videos and including other people, because the thing about reenactment groups is that there's a lot of people with a lot of knowledge, and these people are very knowledgeable. So any chance we can get anybody else on the channel to give you more knowledge to you guys, then that's a great thing.
Well, I'll tell you something. When I was at university, we actually bracketed the Viking Age, but the point is there were questions being asked which were answered by reenactment things like what did the wings on spears for?
Oh yeah.
And they said it was to stop it going through. No, it's to hook a shield, which we'll demonstrate later.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in this video. That reminds me, we need to at some sort out the shield and get some straps on them. Yeah. So that's great. I think if we can work with a large society, and of course they have Whitchurch, which is a very large Anglo-Saxon building. If we can possibly go down there one day and film, that'd be fantastic. And
anybody wanting to start a Viking group could contact us. We can give you some hints.
Oh yes.
Maybe a mention.
We could bring back the Derby group. Anyway, let's talk about something else I want to talk about. Very recently we had a shout out on the channel, not shout out, we had a sub milestone, so I'll get ahead of myself there, and that was the Saga of Egil Thorsson.
Hooray!
And I just want to say how thoroughly people enjoyed it.
Right.
We could talk about that for a minute. Do you want to talk about your little saga you told?
Well, it's a saga that when I first joined the Reenactment Society, we had to make a saga up, so I did. I'm working on the second part because it finishes up, as you know, with me settling in Derby.
Yes, in Northworthy.
Well, I could take it up to Athelflaed's invasion. I've got ideas for it, and you will hear part 2.
Yes, that will be filmed as a milestone.
I do get killed in the second part, though.
Oh, right, that's not very
Spoiler
good.
alert. Well, it'll make sense when I tell you.
Well, at least you go to Valhalla and you have an afterlife.
Well,
drinking mead with the gods.
Yeah, that'll be good. But so, as I say, I'm working on the second part of it, and we'll carry on from that.
Yeah, I think one thing what I did suggest to you was you film the first one again as a family-friendly version. Just take it down slightly. I think that would be a good idea.
Ooh.
I think you could do both of them in one go, family-friendly, as a big milestone shout-out.
Well, keep the other one up.
Because that's one thing we sorry, I can't speak there. That's one thing we neglect on this channel is children. And we tell folk tales, but we don't tell them for that audience in mind.
Well, to be honest, most of these folk tales were meant to be aimed at children.
Yeah.
But don't get me started on political correctness. But as I say, it's something to think about. We can.
Oh, definitely so.
Could do one in the voices of a rainbow, Zippy and George.
Well, I don't think many of our subs may know what rainbow is if they're from America.
Oh, I think they will. But,
I don't know. I don't think they will do.
Memory of Geoffrey Hayes.
Yes.
Never mind. That's not Isaac Hayes.
No.
So, shall we move on?
Yes. Now we have a new feature on the channel. I have to get out this. It's what's in Bragi's bucket. Oh my God, it's blooming heavy. Oh.
Aim water, that's for sure.
No, it's got pewter, and I got a little feature in here, a bit of paper. That's what I bought that bucket up for. And this feature is a new feature. This may be a one-off, or it may not be.
That's up to you.
That's up to you, and it's called Ask Egil Anything. So I have a number of questions here for Egil.
I ain't got my glasses, so I can't read it.
Good. I'll read them out. You can answer if you're Egil. I'm Bragi. And if you like this feature and you like to see it either as a separate video or you like to see it again in another vlog,
if you'd like to see me sweat,
leave a comment. So, what is Egil's favourite film?
My favourite film, my favourite historical film would be Kirk Douglas and the Vikings.
Great film.
I think that's great. But films overall, I've got several. There's the French version of La Cage aux Folles, 1 and 2. Okay, it's quite a fun film. Of course, Valhalla Rising's another one.
I watched that even night.
Yeah.
It's on BBC.
Yeah, it's a bizarre film.
It is a bizarre film.
But having said that, it's basically about a guy who's headed for Valhalla and he's given the option to turn away, but he doesn't.
Good old One Eye.
Yeah. And of course I like comedy films with Bottom, Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy, yes.
Can't beat him. That's another fan.
I'm Stanley, is Ollie.
Okay, so
Yeah, so...
a number of films.
And of course we all know that you love The Godfather.
That's my Christmas treat. Christmas Day I watch Godfather 1. That's how sad I am. Boxing Day is Godfather 2. And the day after Boxing Day is Godfather 3.
And he watches them wearing...
My dinner jacket.
That's class, that is.
It's also the fact that it stops the 1 year rule. You know, if you don't wear something for a year, you throw it out. Well,
oh, I haven't got that rule.
I can brag. This dinner jacket was made for me in 1986, and it's too big round the middle for me.
Oh, right.
Ha ha.
I'm still wearing t-shirts I wore at school over 25 years ago.
Well, my stuff are in the British Museum.
So I think I've gone past the 1 year rule. So, next question. What is Egil's favourite weapon to fight with and why?
I like the sword because it's a bit more personal. Another weapon I like is the 9-foot winged spear.
Yes, we have some of them.
Yeah, well, you've got one of mine for a start.
Yeah, that's sharp though.
Yeah, I know. But I won a number of York battles using the shield wall as my shield and bipping them with the a 9-foot spear.
Oh, it's something very nice about using a 9-foot spear, and I often like to start off that way in battle. And then you get to the stage of the battle where you drop your spear and you go to your sword. Yeah. Because a good spearman can easily take out quite a lot of people.
Oh, easy. Yeah, I mean, what thing amazes me is when you finish the battle and you look, and the people laying down form a spiral. It's where they're trying to go round and round, and it's quite interesting to see this big spiral. I've seen it a number of times.
Yeah, I've not seen that, I must say. So, next question. Big shield or small shield?
Well, it's got to be a round shield, let's put it that way.
It is a round shield.
Yeah. The standard one, like that one there, that's quite good. Saxons had one, I think, 33 inches.
Yeah, 33 inches is about right.
Yeah, but I mean, so long as it covers you, because, you know, you can have too big a shield.
You can have too big a shield.
There was a fashion in the late Saxon period, I think, for them to have bigger shields, which, yeah, it's alright, they can't attack you, but you can't attack anyone else. And to do it, you open up.
And what size are you talking about? 40 inch, 45? Is that 33?
The 33 is ample, I think.
It's about the average for reenactment in the UK. I think some people do have slightly bigger shield, 34, 35.
Those for people
it does give them a massive advantage.
But I mean, you remember there was a guy in our group, big fella, about 30 stone.
Yeah.
So a 33-inch shield is like a thimble to him.
Well, naturally, the bigger the bloke, the smaller the shield. So I prefer a bigger shield myself, but I think this is a very interesting point. At some point, I'll make up a smaller Viking shield, and I like the idea of making a really big shield and have a go at that.
Well, the interesting thing is, I was taught by a guy who left many years ago. He didn't have a shield, and he used my shield against me, and he was walking so that I couldn't strike him, but he could strike me because my shield was the block. And in the end, you end up with an arm ache, and woof, you're dead.
Yeah, so that's that one. Let's go to the next question. Yeah, so what's your favourite Viking in history?
Gala Grimson.
Oh yes, what a dude he was.
Yeah, he's who I took my name from. Egil Grimson was, how can you describe him? A poetic psychotic.
Yes.
He was the one who had big trouble with King Eric Bloodaxe and his family, and when you read Egil's saga, you can sort of get the point that Egil was pretty much sinned against rather than sinning. If you go to York, down the shambles, underneath there is the King Eric Bloodaxe's royal court, where Egil was held prisoner and made the head poem up, which saved his life. And he died a very old man, and it's said that he got this disease that made his head heavy. And they found his skull years later, and they whacked it with an axe. Instead of shattering it, turned white. So
that's weird.
Yeah, it's
you have a heavy head disease. Never heard of that one.
It's not Crohn's disease, it's something
No.
like that.
Definitely not Crohn's disease.
No.
Well,
Anyway.
there's so many diseases out there. Now, what's Egil's top 3 cheeses?
Well, my favourite is English cheddar, or as my brother calls it, mousetrap.
Yeah,
Camembert,
yeah,
Brie,
yeah,
that's 3.
yeah.
But I also love Stilton. I am a Stiltonian, you know.
Of course, another name for cheese is bunghole. Have you not heard that one? Because it bungs you up. Anyway, you eat too much. And of course it does give you bad dreams if you eat too much as well. I love cheese. I like a good Gloucester.
I like
Double
cheese,
Gloucester.
yeah. I like Stilton.
Yeah.
It's really nice. With a bit of apple.
Now, with this talk about cheese, the next question is slightly cheese related. Is it a cob or a bab?
It depends on what part of the country you come from.
And you may want to explain this for our American friends. Hello.
We're talking about rolls, about that size. Bread. Now, a cob traditionally can be a horse or a cobblestone. In Derbyshire, the small loaves resemble cobblestones and they call them cobs. If you go south, they call them baps. Well, a bap is floury and softer bread.
Definitely a cob, it's not a bap.
Well, you know, the correct terminology, of course, is a roll.
Bloody southerners with their southern phrases.
But having said that, I mean, we went to Lancashire once, and this woman asked for a cob, and I drew a picture of a roll with a dead horse in it. I said that's why they looked at you gone out, and it wasn't until he said roll, and that was in Lancashire.
Yes, I slept in the dentist chair in Lancashire. There you go. Yeah, very interesting. So what's your favourite comedy programme on TV? Past and present?
Past would be Bottom. Anything with Rick Mail and Aidan Anderson in. And then Laurel and Hardy, as I've said earlier.
Oh yes.
Always great fun. And anything also with Steve Coogan, he's a favourite of mine.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing the new Laurel and Hardy movie with Steve Coogan.
He was an amazing guy, Steve Coogan. If
And
you're watching, thanks.
Yes. I don't think he's a fan yet.
We don't know.
We never know.
Yeah,
there could be some famous people watching.
Yeah,
Are you famous? Are you watching? Leave a comment.
But if you are Steve Coogan, I'm much honoured. I've admired your work for years.
He's a genius, Steve Coogan. Oh yes. And you know, we did
Tom Saxon.
Yeah, filmed some videos with the kind of the theme of the guy he does.
Yeah, Alan
Partridge.
And he also does Tom Saxondale.
Yes, Tom Saxondale, I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah,
anyway, if you could be a famous person for the day, who would you be? You can be past or present.
There's a thing, isn't it? Who would want to be a king for a day?
What, a famous person?
I'll be shallow and say Rockefeller, because that way I've got a lot of money for a day and I can blow it and nobody's that interested in me. If you want to be a king for a day, then you're a fool.
Right.
Okay.
Before the battery's going, I'm going to place it.
Okay.
We'll wind up, we'll see how long this goes. We're still recording.
Next question.
And the next question is, what's your best holiday?
I have to say, I have never had a good holiday in my life.
Well, we'll have to
the last holiday
somewhere.
I had was when I was 15. I'm 64. I suppose a day out at Hastings was lovely. I enjoyed that. And any day out at Whitley is a day with sunshine.
Oh, indeed. Nice chips and fish there.
Yeah, but apart from that, actual holidays, I'll be honest, I haven't had many. What I have had, I've not really enjoyed.
Now, do you have an Anglo-Saxon name? Your name's more Viking like mine.
Well, my mother's family maiden name is Branscombe, which apparently means Raven Valley. We had a little village named after us, and it is...
And a sauce.
Yeah. Also, our name is pre-Norman invasion, so it's in Devon. We're a Devon family. My father's family, Carters, are Hertfordshire farmers, but they originate also in the West Country. So maybe I should talk like that.
Well, maybe you should, yeah. That should be a new improvement for the channel, something like that. Hey, you're a bit like that Phil Harding.
Ah, here, Tony.
Yeah. Is he here? Where is he? Phil's here.
We've got down the level.
Now, what's your top 5 Viking Beasts?
People call him Viking long ships, long boats. People ask
Beasts.
Oh, beasts.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said beefs.
Well, that could be another question for another day.
Top Viking beast, of course, is the raven.
Yes.
The wolf. What else? Wild boar, delicious they are.
Yeah.
The deer. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Pussycats. I like pussycats.
Yeah, well, I think next time we'll ask the question of what's your top 5 Viking mythological beasts? And what is your top 5 Viking gods?
Well, that's like asking a mother, what's your favourite child? Odin Allfather, Thor, Freya, Frigg, Balder, that's 5.
Yes. People always forget Forseti. He's very underestimated, Forseti.
Yeah, I've seen his works and
Oh, yes.
don't mess with
Writer of Laws. But that's another video of which I am working on. So that was that. So that was a few questions for Egil. So how did you like that?
That was interesting. Like I say, I had me worried at first, but
Well, no, the worrying stage is when we start getting the questions from our subs.
yeah.
No, so we've got the battery flashing on red, so we're still going, so that's good. Now, before we finish this video, I want to talk about your little voices you use on the channel.
Ah, right.
So where do you get your voices from? And where do you get your inspiration?
I have a weird mind. I hear them in my own way. I also am a fan of the Goons.
Oh yes,
Peter Sellers.
same here.
And Spike Milligan. And I like to see the absurdity in the normal everyday, because when you look at today, it's like a veneer of seriousness, thou shalt not, but you just, it's like children wearing their dad's shoes. I just pick them up, they come to me. I won't say their voices in my head because people get the wrong idea, but
yeah, I don't find doing the voices so as easy as you do. I find it very hard from my mind.
so the voices, as I say, I listen to things. I'm very much a child of the 60s. We had Kenneth Horne, which was
Around the Horn.
Around the Horn, Beyond
Yes.
That Ken, and then we had the Goon Show,
The Fringe.
and the Fringe, and it's just things like that that I hear voices. You can apply them to things, and also, it's like I was saying off camera to you, Dennis Potter, I so understand, you know, when you see people suddenly getting up dancing and singing, and that's how I got around people being pompous. I am quite pompous myself and I hate it. I hate to see pomposity, and anything that brings people down to a sensible level. I don't mean to mock them, but I mean to show them, look, you may be going the wrong way. Yeah, voices, just a bit of fun. I learnt how to change my voice. I went to school in Radlett in Hertfordshire, a very middle class school. And I went to Wengroves, which was a working class. And if you go in saying, hello chaps, how are you doing? You get filled in. As I found out. So I learnt to speak Derbyshire, just say. And I think I passed as local. I don't know so much.
Oh, you lived here long enough now, we'll class you as a local.
1960 I moved up
Yeah?
here. Yeah.
I wasn't even born then.
But if you want to hear my true accent, get me tipsy.
Oh yes, if you think Egil's funny, you get Egil drunk and he's 10 times more funnier. We'll save that for the adult version channel when we do, if we ever do one.
The outtakes.
Well, yeah, I'm still working on the outtakes. There's so many of them.
Yeah. And yeah, that's where they come from.
What is your favourite voice to do?
I don't really
I like the
know.
Eccles one.
Yeah. Oh, you know, everybody got to be somewhere. I mean, Spike Milligan's humour, I think, was way ahead of its time.
Well, Spike Milligan was a genius,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. They all were.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I just love that kind of humour. I love Aid Edmondson and Rick Mail.
Well, it's like Lon Hardy all over, isn't it? It's daft humour, but it works.
Yeah, yeah.
And it worked on Lon Hardy, and they resembled that in Bottom.
Yeah.
In many aspects, you look at Lon Hardy, you look at Bottom, you can see the similarities between them and where those guys got the ideas from.
I like to see how it formed from sort of the young ones, and you got Rick and Adrian Dangerous, then you got Hot Metal, and then you can see Bottom, and I think that's really good. But
and it's very sad that we lost Whitmail.
yeah, it is a sad thing.
Such a young age as well.
Yeah, but when you see him sweating in the scenes, it's no wonder the poor old devil got the illness.
Well, yeah.
He was hyperactive and epileptic as well, believe
Was
it
he?
or not. Yeah. But what a dude.
Indeed. And that's a little chat about the voices of Egil. Now, before we start finishing this vlog, Egil, we're going to chat about the recent dig last year at Repton.
Right, well...
This is just a brief chat, and we will make a longer video on this.
On my sojourn to Derby Museum, I was given a magazine about archaeology, and in it there was a new dig at Repton and looking for Northworthy. I'll deal with the Repton part.
Do you want me to get the magazine for you?
You can do.
You carry on.
Basically, questions in the past I had were the big bone hoard. First of all, I'm told it's 6th century monks, then I'm told it's warriors, and archaeology conservation in Derbyshire, ACID for short, there you go. They've done a dig and they've proved that the bones in the
That's
ditch
interesting.
are Viking. As you can see there's a representation of what they think Repton looked like at the time. There's a discussion on the ditch which we'll cover at greater length later on, but it's certainly a lot bigger than they thought in the first place, so we'll be looking at that. And the Northworthy dig, for those of you cognizant with the map layout of Derby, Parker's Piece, they think that green, there is a building there which has got a hypercaust. Look at all that money.
Well, that's counting the money.
All the hypercaust. But there was also a fort there which was restored around the time Athelflaed came to Derby. Whether it was Northworthy or not, I don't think anybody's going to agree on it. I don't know is the short answer. But, oh, copper. So, we will get back to you on the Repton dig. I've read the article loosely. I've got to go through it in greater detail, so is Bragi. And maybe, hopefully, there was a tutor of mine at York who actually conducted a survey around Repton, whether I can get a hold of him or not.
Well, it'd be great to get people like that on the channel.
Or Julian Richards. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, till we meet again, and we'll be coming back with you.
One of my coin hoards.
And I'll say goodbye, but don't forget, press the old subscription bell, leave us a comment, and he's nearly got his money back. This is called, in TV terms, wasting time. And I'll go over to you, Bragi.
Yes, before we go, let's just talk about quickly the recent videos we've been making about weapons. As this will be published this Sunday, so it's rather relevant. And how are you liking the content we're making at the moment? We recently had a video of the Viking sword, Langsaxon Scramsax. We had last week out the Viking bearded axe. That seemed to go down well. I think this week, this Saturday coming, is Viking tunics.
Oh, right.
It's just a brand title.
I'm glad he told me.
Well, you're in it, you should know.
Well.
And so how are you liking that content? And do you want to film more content based around weapons and combat? Because we could certainly do that. I mean, I could certainly make 10 videos on every sword I've got. I mean, I don't know how many swords do I have? I don't know. I forget.
Or how many hairs on the head of a goose?
Need a goose for that.
Yeah.
I'll have a gander about that.
Ooh. Don't forget the rabbits.
Oh yes, now until the next time we meet again, please leave a comment. And if you are new to the channel, well, what should I do, Egil?
Press the subscription bell up there in the corner and leave us a comment.
Yeah, subscribe, click on the bell. By doing that, you'll be notified, and by supporting the channel, you'll be feeding a Viking.
I mean, I'm too thin and wasting away.
Yes.
So's Bragi.
Yes, so subscribe and support Egil. Everybody needs an Egil.
Yeah.
And don't forget,
Especially
folks, that an Egil is not just for Christmas.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye now.